really want to welcome everyone here, first of all, and got a couple really neat announcements coming up. Uh, First of all, this gathering is every other week, so thank you for, excuse me, every week, so thank you for being here. And every other week is the Healing Circle, but this, except for this coming week of May, uh, I don't know what it is, the first week, there's no Healing Circle and there's no gathering because I'll be doing appointments in Arizona and two healing circles, one in Gold Canyon and one in Scottsdale. And it's all on the website about that. Um, let's see, Lynn. Yes, Allison Nash is watching. Yay! Cool. This is fantastic. All right, we're getting more people this way. I love this, Lynn. And this is good. People to sign up and also people that are going through Facebook. That's just fantastic. All right. Also, um, so this week we're not having, this coming week, we're not going to have a healing circle. Yay, thanks for the hearts. I love it. We're not doing the healing circle at the first week of May, and we're not doing the gathering. And then it'll start again on the second week. Then, let's see, we have a class coming up. And well, first of all, we have the Phoenix thing. I believe all the appointments are filled except for two appointments on Saturday. And they will fill up fast if you're from the Phoenix area. If you want an appointment, call Sue Cavas. Or if you don't have her number, I think Lynn can put it up there. I believe it's onehealing at gmail.com, if I'm correct, Lynn. And then we have a workshop coming up. And the workshop is going to be May 22nd. It's a 2-hour workshop. And there might be time for a little break in between the 2 hours. It's on healing and practice. And it is basic, but it'll get involved. And I'll give you just tons of experiential work. It's 2 full hours. It's like an introduction course into my teachings, my understandings, where I'm coming from, how to practice it, what to do with it, and how it can affect you in your life and others. And a lot of experiential stuff in that, and within the 2 hours time. And you'll learn simple and even more direct applications for touch and non-touch technique that I teach. So please, when you have the opportunity, join that class. There will be a charge for it. For the 2 hours, it's $45. I think it's very, very reasonable, and I think you'll enjoy it. All the workshops are fun and they're intense. So even if you've taken all my workshops in the world, you'll still get something else out of this. And that's the way they're all designed. They're designed for the mind of the group. And then when is that? I believe it is May 24th through the 27th is a full 4-day workshop, an hour and a half a day, Monday through Thursday from noon until 1:30. And it's a 4-day advanced spiritual healing course. It'll be course 1 of the advance. And in this course, it's for anyone really. I don't care how unadvanced you are. It's an advanced course in itself. It'll teach you a lot of the deep esoterics of where I come from and how to work with healing and intuition. And this course will also remind you of the basics of what's been covered in the basics from other courses. And that's why anyone can attend really, if they have a calling for it. And you'll be able to bring up questions, and there'll be interactions, and it'll be a casual exchange. And there'll be exercises throughout the course as homework at the end of each day that you'll be required to do and talk about the next day. And it's an experiential course, and for stuff that you can also apply for not only yourself, but for others as well. So please do take advantage of these. Lynn's going to be putting up the course information for both courses on the website, I believe, before the weekend, which is within the next day or two. So please do take advantage of those. And then let's see what else is there. Lynn is here. She's in Canada. She's my personal assistant. She's the hub of the whole operation. She keeps everything going, and I absolutely love it. And
Hello.
and she is probably buried in snow and has to, whenever she digs out a little bit, she puts it into the fireplace for bath water and for clothes and stuff like that. And otherwise, she's breaking ice in her well, and giving the ice to the fireplace again, melting it and giving it to the chickens and the cows. And so, isn't that right, Lynn? So.
It's actually raining now. We're past the snow.
Oh, well.
By the way, just a quick, do you have your chat window open? The Apprentice has a message for you.
All right, who does?
The chat window in Zoom.
Okay.
The Apprentice has a message for you.
Let me see if I can expand this a little bit. And where's chat?
At the bottom of the Zoom window?
Yeah, I see. Stop video, mute, security, participants, chat. There Perfect. We go. All right. Can I read Zoom messages? Waving at you from The Apprentice. Hey, how you doing? I can see the Zoom message of that. Can you read Zoom messages? And waving at you. Yes.
Perfect. All right, you're set.
She should turn on her screen for a moment, her live camera, and hide and just have her hand waving. So, I always send her jokes and talk to her like that. I know who The Apprentice is. All right. Let me see here if there's any messages. There's Joanne Nichols. Fantastic. All right. Also on the website, there's a gifting and supporting page. Please feel free to give from your heart. God gives back. Believe me, God gives back manyfold as we give only from the heart. And I used to know, it reminds me that I used to know someone in my order, and this fellow, and he was what everyone called a grace monger. So he would do things only for the purpose of grace. And I don't know if he ever got any, but that's what he did it for. And so he did something nice for someone, only thinking that he's going to get grace back. So it doesn't work like that. Does not. And all right, then for any of the workshops, if you need financial help, please let Lynn know. She knows what to do. If you can write her, and she'll, her email is admin@markehrlichs.com. Her email is admin@markehrlichs.com. So other than that, I don't think there's anything else. If anyone wants an appointment with me, please feel free, to ask me. And also, if you're in dire financial straits, I'll help you. I'll work with you on the appointment costs as well. I don't want anyone to go without. So please do take advantage of the workshops and by talking with Lynn or signing up from them when they're announced and stuff like that. And also with the event in Phoenix, Scottsdale area, Sue Cavas. It's one, am I correct, Lynn? It's onehealing@gmail.com. Is that correct? Do you know? She'll check that out.
Yeah. Yes, I already posted it.
Oh, okay, good. And then that's on the Facebook posts. And then let me see. I don't think there's anything else. All right. Any questions, please? I can try to answer. Anyone, please. Feel free on healing or spirituality or intuition. I'll do my best and my damnedest from my heart to answer your questions. Please, anything, Mary, you would like to know about that I can try to answer? You're really good with questions usually.
You know, I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and just listen, and then I can come back in if you don't mind.
Okay, all righty. That sounds great. And I'm going to look on the phone and see if anyone's asked anything. No, 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 no. A lot of comments. And thanks for the hearts. I love those. And yeah, there's the information for Sue. Good. All right. Well, I work with healing and intuition as well. And so, you know, if I should see anything, I'll share it with you. And if it's personal, you know, I wait for the appointment or whatever. I don't say things publicly. And healing for me is giving from my heart and being concerned for the other person and wanting them to feel better emotionally, mentally, physically, biologically, neurologically, whatever, skeletal in any way. And I just talk to God, basically. That's my go-to. And I will also talk to the mother. She's a very important part of my life. And so that's where I come from. And I just say, okay, boss, take over. And the old man says, move out of the way, Ehrlichs. And I get out of the way and I let God do it. There's a lot more, and I teach the other parts of that in the courses and stuff like that. But and I really believe my place here is to you know, help people not only to feel better, but to help them to realize that they too can do this as well to varying degrees. And we all have the ability, and to varying degrees. Some souls will just want to know, you know, what's happening, or to get that sense of what is happening within them. And that's okay. There's no, you know, problem with that. Hey, Christina's here. Yay, from Chicago. Love it. Love it. And so, you know, we all, again, have this ability. And some souls have, you know, a real connection with healing. But everyone has their own connection, their own uniqueness to themselves. There's no two forms of healing that are the same. Even what I teach how to. I don't teach what to do. I teach how to, and it connects with your soul, where something inside of you that was attracted to this initially will respond in its way. And that's all that matters to me. And that's what I'm, you know, used for. That's what I'm here for. And I just love giving as much as I can. And if you don't understand something when I'm working with you or teaching you or whatever, then I'll go over it in 1,000 different ways, or as many ways as I can, until you can get something or see where I'm coming from that applies to you in your life to answer your question or an elaboration on your statement. And, you know, it's all there, you know, it's all waiting for us to delve into. All right, Irene, hey, my dear, talk to me. Ask me a question.
Okay. In a recent email, you said, when a healing happens in any form, with or without sensation, there is also a spiritual awakening that is happening. Can you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, there's something that's jiving in with, there's like a connection, a union between you and God.
Oh, how nice.
Yes. And it's very, very real. And we get to experience the reality of the realness of it. If we first give, you know, oh, this is wonderful, God, thanks. And then wonder about it.
Oh, okay.
And then something happens. There's like a greater connection that comes in for us. And we're elated within ourselves. There's like a joy that happens within ourselves. Does that
After
help?
after you wonder about it?
Yes.
Okay.
Wondering is the key in
Yeah.
everything that I teach.
Oh, that big, huh?
Yeah, it's huge. It is
Right.
just so huge. And
Okay.
it's everything. Because when we're wondering about something, that's acknowledging that we don't know the answer. And that
Okay.
leaves room for the answer.
So it's like you're humbling yourself.
Yes,
Okay.
totally. Totally. Let me expand the screen here. There.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. And I hope that answers, more fully.
Yeah, no, it gives me more information. Thank you.
Oh, excellent. Let me see here. If I'm trying to adjust my phone here so that I can see if there's anything. And
Well, I'm ready, Mark, with that question when.
all
whenever
right,
you're-
Mary, I've been waiting for this all night.
Yeah, I know. I loved your statement about healings connecting to my soul, a spiritual awakening. So my question is, because I'm also part of a Power of Eight intention group, and that using what I call prayer and then the power of intention to influence another's healing. And I believe this, but is this just my belief or is it the truth that my thoughts truly can help transform another person's healing? Or I can be always sending that love and that energy and they do what they want with it. But do they have to be participating, whether they know it or not, in that receiving of that intention for healing for it to occur? And I'll give you an example. I have a sister-in-law who is going through chemo for lung cancer, and I'm just constantly holding her up. I've had my intention group. She was a subject of holding the intention for healing. I guess I'm just trying to figure out what the true spiritual effect of all of this is.
Okay. When we're always praying, always, anyway, every word, every thought, every action is literally our living word, our living prayer. Every word, every thought, every action is literally our prayer, living all the time. So why not do something intentionally with intent? And that will hone in the power, the force, the energy of that prayer to be more realistic in life. The more we're focused on what our thoughts are, we'll see what comes out of our mouth in conversation. That's our prayer. And then if we take a look at it, well, we can ask ourselves, do I want to pray that, in the world? Do I want to think that? Because that's my prayer. And we catch ourselves enough that we find that we learn to hone in on that living prayer. And that's what the intent is. It's a movement to power, force, and energy. That's what the spirit can move through to manifest. The more proficient we get at it, the greater the effect of it, of that power, force, and energy. Always, always. And we may not notice it at first, but what happens is our thoughts, they become less chaotic and we become more real. And the prayer coming forth from us, either right away or as we practice that, we find that it becomes more and more empowered in itself and has an effect that's so much greater, always greater. If that makes sense. So if that's all true, if that should be, then it's not wrong to do good. It's not incorrect or wrong, if there is such a word really. It's not wrong to pray for someone who's hurting and hasn't given us permission. Because we're praying anyway. Every word, every thought, every action out of our body or out of our mouth is a living prayer. So why not take responsibility and do it purposefully, regardless whether the person has given you permission or not? Whoever came up with that initially, they must have been really afraid in life, you know, or wanting to defend themselves or something. I don't know what. But we pray for people anyway. So why not do it purposefully, regardless of whether they know or not? I pray for people all the time that, you know, I hear about that aren't well. I don't do it full time all day long, 24 hours a day, but I do it, and it doesn't take long. And many people, even the ones that, you know, ask me to, it's really no different than the ones that don't ask me to. But the ones that ask me to, I can go back and say, hey, how you feeling? Say, whoa, this is great. You know, either right away or over time. Within a short period of time, they're feeling better, or that within the next 24 hours, something's changed in their life, or something has transpired to make it even them more healthy in some way or another, or something they've been to a doctor, and doctor finally found out what the situation is, if that should be the case, or they finally took the initiative and did an exercise or something, and whether physical or spiritual exercise, and that took care of the situation. It's always within 24 hours or 48 hours maximum.
Well, and what if that doesn't happen then? Then how do you view, I mean, prayers and intention are never wasted. It's source. It's all source, and I understand that. And if it's not that a person's desire to be healed, that's not up to me. I can still love them and send the energy.
Sure, I'm going to meet people that are going to say, no, leave me alone, I want to die. That's okay. That's okay. They're not bad. They're not wrong. That's their free will, how they're utilizing it. And maybe it's your place sometimes to help people go through death. I've had that many a time. Good questions. Really good questions. I love them. Cool. Christina.
I knew you were going to call on me next. Hi, Mark. How are you?
Well, thank you. Well, thank you so much.
Good.
So anything in particular, my dear, are there any questions?
You know, actually today, like I'm very blank today, which I guess is a good thing.
I hear you.
But the one thing, you know, I know typically like before the gatherings, I'll ask questions. What do I need to know, you know, or what do I need to ask about? And the only thing that came to me was just how do you spark desire? That for some reason, that was a question that came up.
That's a good question. I've asked that myself that question many a time. And especially when I'm in la la land, and I don't want to be desirous in anything, or when I'm in the doldrums and I don't want to be desirous in any way. I don't even want to pray. I don't want to do nothing. You know, I just want to sit there, you know, staring at something, you know, maybe a bottle of water or something. I don't know. And or a rock. I don't know. But
yes,
what I have to do is I have to conjure it up within myself. And if I have, and sometimes it might take a minute, and sometimes it might, you know, I have to find something I'm really desirous for in my life, or for whether it be with someone else in what they need, or something that I need in my life, I really, really need, not what I want, but what I need. And I have to take a look at it, or for an answer of something. I have to conjure that up. What do I really want? What do I really need in my life? And I have to take a look at that, and I wonder what it's like to have that. That's the beginning of the desire, when you're wondering, what is it? That's where God has already started meeting you halfway, if that makes sense. Then if we can recognize, okay, maybe God is meeting me halfway, or part of the way, or before I even started. So I better put my heart into this. That's one way that I do it. Because, God's there. He's the big man. He's going to answer my prayer, or she,
Yes.
or whatever. And so we have to conjure that up. We have to bring it up within us. Sometimes it takes work. I don't care how much practice you have at that, doing that. Sometimes it takes work. But once we do it, that's great. And other times, then we keep the flow going. But at other times, it's most impossible. And that's when I have to tell myself, okay, I just can't do it now. And I can't do it this time. And I don't want to say I just can't do it ever, because then you're setting a pattern for that. But when you say to yourself, I just can't do it right now, then you're setting it up that the next time you will.
Got it.
And it'll be easier. I hope that answers your question.
It does. It totally does. Yeah, we all go through those funks, and it's just like, where did this come from? Just out of cloud nine.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. All right. Let me see here. Let me see. Yeah, Lynn put up Sue's information, Sue Cavus's information at One Healing Gmail, and she's put up all the stuff. That's awesome. Thank you, Lynn. All right. Allison, my saliva duct is much better, but still there's a bit. Oh, good. And let me see if I can work with your saliva duct a little bit here, and see if we can help it that little extra oomph. I already felt the sense of change in it. So let's see what that leads into or develops into. All right, awesome. And then Patty, yay, Patty's here as well. Yay, Patty, good to see you. Thanks for being here, Patty. And Lynn wrote, sorry, folks, I just realized that it shows that I've gone live instead of Mark. I don't understand that. I'll make sure I fix it next time. All right. On the right side. Okay, yes. My pleasure, Allison. How you doing, Patty? Is there anything you would like me to work with? Or first of all, are there any further questions I could try to answer? I love this. The Apprentice. Is there anything that you would like me to work with, Apprentice? Or Christina, anything you would like me to work with? Or Sam, please.
I could use a Roto-Rooter.
All right, I'll gladly ask a blessing. My sense was that there was a real lovely flow through you. So let's see what happens from that. All right.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
I have a question.
Please.
You wrote an email and you said it was from an older post. And in it, you started out saying there's something I've wanted to talk to you about for a long time. And in the email, you say you're born into one gift or many gifts, and it's best not to think of them as gifts, but that you are the gift. So I got that. But then you went on to say you think of these things as gifts or special attributes. They are lost initially, put aside until there's a change of heart. So I didn't quite get it. I see the theme is about pride. Then you said it's best to find and put aside the pride. It hinders you as you think of spirituality as easy. it's a lifelong battle and these things are somewhat lost until they can blend back with us. Okay. Tell me what this is.
Yeah, what was that first part that you questioned?
Well, I'm questioning what, I'm trying to just get a broader on what you mean. You're saying that you have you're born with a gift, but you
Yes.
are the gift. All right, I got that. And then I look at it as you're born with a purpose, so you have a gift. But
Yes.
it's just a view. And then you say they're lost initially. I like that.
Yes.
That's a little sad.
No, no. They're lost initially as, we step out and take credit for them or acknowledge them as our gift.
Oh, we can't do that.
Well, we can, but it takes longer for it to come to a greater fruition. And until we become aware of what we've done to sabotage it for that time, we never lose anything. It's not possible. We can put it aside, but it's not lost. We can re-find it though, because it's not lost.
How do you re-find it?
By coming back to ourselves and finding that a sense of humility that it never has been us in the first place.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and everyone is unique and has their own abilities and gifts and everything, and it's just awakening to those and how we find out how they might fit into our lives.
Okay.
Or our life into them, because that our soul is presenting the experience of that to us. And we have the ability to step out on it or in yes or no in doing it. It's up to us. And we're not going to be damned if we don't, it's just another time and another place that things are going to be presented to us in various ways.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And never the same way. Never the same. It's
Really?
not possible. Yeah. Not possible. Because we can't, it's the analogy that I always give that our consciousness, our living state of being couldn't fit into the past because we wouldn't fit into it because we've grown so much. But we can fit into the potential future because it hasn't been fully developed yet.
Okay.
Cool. And Allison said on the right side, I don't know what that means. Let's see. Apprentice to everyone, a blessing. Not to be too crazy worrying about contagion as I reintegrate into the world. Well, I would say just go crazy. That's what I would do. But catch yourself, apprentice. And I know who you are too. And personally, I think you should make an appointment with me. There's only 1 or 2 appointments left when I get there in May. But if you call Sue, if you want to do that. But the craziness is free will. And we get to participate in that as much as we want. But if we don't want to participate in it, we can catch ourselves being crazy or crazed or like a chicken with the head cut off scenario. And which I did see one time too. I didn't kill the chicken, but I saw it. I think it was on a TV show. So, but in any case, you can catch yourself being crazy and saying to the craziness, that consciousness of the craziness, how do you serve me? And wait for a response from it. Asking it, how do you serve me? And sometimes you'll get an answer back that you didn't expect. And you might burst out laughing or something. And you won't find yourself in that craziness anymore for that particular scenario. And so, but you got to ask it, how do you serve me? And I had someone burst out laughing not too long ago. They got an answer from that consciousness of whatever it was. I think it was a great fear. And it just very straightly forward said to them, I don't. And the woman just burst out laughing, and she was never concerned about that particular fear ever again in her life, at least at that time, until now. And so you can always ask it, how do you serve me? But you have to be real objective when you ask that, because you're wondering, you don't know how you're serving it. And you're asking it honestly, how do you serve me? Mr. Fear or Mr. Worry or Miss Worry or whatever. And so, in any case, I don't know if there's anyone else after Patty saying hi to Mark on Facebook, if anyone else has asked any questions or anything. All right, so that's from The Apprentice. And then Lynn wrote, I would love a blessing from my daughter's friend Stu to lessen the stress in his life and allow him to realize the importance of his health. Now he's going to have to participate and find out how as well and get into different things in order to correct himself. But I can ask the old man or old woman upstairs, say, okay, boss, help this person to find this in a more easy way in their life versus going through a lot of chaos and then finding it. So let's see if we can help it to be a little bit easier. And for Stu. I do see him often laughing, which is probably part of his MO, but and learning how to fit in some way in society. I don't know what that's about. Laughing, and there was something else. I don't know, but in any case, I lost that. My apology. He's taking time off work to start, so that's good. Yes, good. Excellent. And then I got Samantha has a question. Please turn on your mic, Samantha.
Yes,
There.
hi, Mark.
Hi.
When you were talking earlier about desire, I kind of have the opposite problem where I have so many desires. And the suffering comes in not being able to fulfill those desires.
Tell me more about that, please, or tell me in a different way.
Desire to start my own business, which has been one of the biggest, longest goals. And then I was thinking, what's the common denominator? What's the main reason for these desires not being able to be fulfilled? And it all comes down to money is the reason. Because I'm working, teaching children's art classes, but I'm doing it to earn money, not because that's what I really want to do. So because
Right.
I'm teaching, it's not letting me have the time that I need to be able to do what I really desire. Does that make sense?
Yes, and we can have all these desires and needs to do things, but we have to prioritize as well.
Mhm.
I think, see, we can have all these desires and needs and things that we really, really want. And they're going to be, in other words, just desires and needs until they're not scattered anymore by being so many.
Mhm.
That's wishful thinking. And as valid as they might be,
Mhm.
the idea is to stop ourselves and even make a simple list. What's the most important one? And work with one.
Okay.
As you're working with one from inside yourself, okay, God, how am I going to do this? Show me how, or tell me how, or give me what's needed to do this one thing. And only focus on that, not getting rid of all the other things,
Mhm.
the other desires.
Okay.
Keep them on a list, have them numbered, and you'll see the prioritizing of them will change in times.
Okay.
But it's taking care of one thing only. Then in a short or longer period of time, you'll see that you knocked out one, then you knocked out another, then you knocked out another,
Okay.
but it's only focusing on one, which is the most important one. And you have to determine that yourself.
Okay.
And it takes contemplation, it takes wondering about which one is most important to me. I have to really think about this.
Mhm.
But do it for an answer, ask for an answer.
Okay.
Let it come to you, which is the most important.
Okay. Because even in my art, I have a tendency to just dabble in a lot of different things. I'm doing clay right now. I'm doing painting. I'm doing photography. And I feel like, what's that saying? Jack of all trades, master of none. I'm not good at one of them, and I want to get good at one of them. But I love
Yes.
doing all of them.
Then stop yourself from going wild like that chicken with the head cut off,
Mhm.
going nowhere, jack of all trade, master of none.
Yeah.
Stop yourself, become and focus.
Mhm.
Which is the one, wonder which is the one that's best for you to start.
Mhm.
You're not negating the others, which
Mhm.
is the best for you to start. Only.
Okay.
And then you ask the old man or woman upstairs to say, hey, look, is this correct for me? Show me, tell me, help me.
Mhm.
Let that be your prayer. Then you'll see that there's a more immediate prayer that's more focused, and it'll be honed in like a laser light,
Okay.
and it'll be shared with you.
Thank you.
Sure. My suggestion.
Okay.
You know?
It makes sense.
Yeah. Everything else is going to be scattered otherwise, and you're not going to be able to do nothing or anything. And then we'll come up with another idea.
Yeah, right now I feel like I'm just kind of letting the money lead me. So even in deciding which medium to do one of my artworks in, it comes down to, okay, somebody
Yeah.
as,
The idea is not to let the money lead you, but to let God lead you.
okay. I will.
Because everything begins in the spirit anyway.
Yeah.
It's in the spirit, which is the activity.
Yes.
You know, and it brings heaven to earth so we can blend and put into practice
Mm-hmm.
the best of both worlds. That's what we're striving for, unknowingly or knowingly, in our lives. Patty wrote, yesterday's surgery on a left toe went well, yay, but this evening the pain is intense. Oh, I bet. You need the drugs. Not kidding. Any help with pain is more appreciative. Thanks, Mark. My pleasure. My pleasure, Patty. And I told you it was going to go well.
Hey, Mark, I just have a quick question if you would clarify.
Sure,
Right
one
in the
moment.
beginning, you talked
Yeah,
about.
one moment.
Okay, sure.
I want to work with Patty a little
I'm
bit
so
here.
sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, the tissue naturally is traumatized from any surgical procedure would be. And so on your part, Patty, watch the tissue and the nerve, the tiny, tiny nerves you can't even see, like looking at them under a microscope. Imagine them starting to attract towards the other nerve endings and form like a web to become a tissue again and muscle again and bone again, and watch all that happening inside of you. I've already uh, asked for help for you for that, so it will be easy. And keep your the blood flow is very important with the traumatized area. When you have it down, it's going to be, ow. But when you have it elevated for a day or two, it's going to heal much quicker. And you'll see, and there's less discomfort. Occasionally put it down and stuff like that, as you know, and keep the ice on it and stuff. But because there was a major trauma in there. And so now it's healing and you're experiencing the shock trauma of it all. And then it goes into the bruise of it. Well, it's going to be a lot quicker now. You'll see. It'll be a part of your life, hon. You'll definitely see that, Patty. All right. Go ahead, Irene, please, please, please. Or was it Mary? Mary.
Yeah, sorry about that, Mark.
That's okay.
Just a quick clarification, because I tend to use, or I think I'm using these words interchangeably. So I want to see if you agree or don't agree. Or you talked about intuition, and so as you were saying that, what came to me is intuition is really the same as a psychic knowing.
Psychic to me, and it's just my experience in my life, not everyone else's. Psychic to me means from something out there, it's not organized into a particular form. Intuition to me is a voice from within. It's a knowing. We hear and see through our knowing. So the perceptions of intuition will tell you the truth, where the psychic is more desperate to relate to us anything and everything. If that makes sense. It's just my teaching.
I'll think on that.
It's years ago in the order I was taught one time, I remember this for some reason, that we'll get images and we'll get perceptions and from the psychic. And it was just, the psychic was described, well, it's almost like that's the archaic way. That's the old way that really doesn't fit anymore. And so it's almost like the psychic it's like an Oreo cookie. And the more you squeeze the cookie parts, because heaven and earth are coming together, the more you squeeze the cookie parts, which represent heaven and earth, you're going to get this extrusion coming out and desperate to attach to something, to give you any kind of information, to give it life, if that makes sense. And so it's going to try everything it can because it's desperate for information, what's extruding out between the Oreo cookie there. And it's going to, it's looking for life. It wants more, to grow again. And because it's getting less and less, and we're going to see more and more of it because it's desperate to have us trust in it, believe in it. Where I would prefer in my life to go with the intuition, the inner teaching. That's what intuition means, is inner teaching. And that's what I want to rely on in my life, is that inner teaching, not through desiring to hear anything and everything to hear or to see. Hope that makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Mark, can I comment on that? So it's more like external vibrational energy coming from outside of you, outside sources, as opposed to an internal, like you said, that internal divine voice.
Yes, and the internal divine voice doesn't have room for that because it's knowing within itself. And the outside is a desperation from all past experiences of mankind and influences and belief systems and rituals and all kinds of junk that people believed in, and the superficial gods and all kinds of things, and the magical stuff that really didn't have any substance. It was just trying to influence to bring mankind to it.
Makes sense.
Okay. All right. And this thing inside that shares with us the intuition, the inner teaching, it will show us and tell us things and have things happen and come forth from us. And miracles happen around us, just all kinds of good stuff that are lovely, you know. And I get woken up quite often through spirits when I'm late for getting up, because I only sleep 2 to 4 hours a night generally. But I'll have these things, these spirits, you know, touch my toe and send like a flow of electricity from my toe all the way up, and it would be really nice. And I said, "Oh, it must be time to get up. Who are you?" And they never answer, and they go away, you know. Or they'll play little games with me and stuff like that. They're pleasant things, though. They're pleasant things. One time in Chicago a couple years ago, this is just most recent, the most recent thoughts in my mind that I'm having now that I can remember. A couple years ago, there was I was laying in bed and say, "Okay, spirits, show me you're here," or something like that. And and the light was off, and the switch was off in the room, and then all of a sudden the lights burst on, and there was this big pop, like, you know, there was a short in the wiring system, and I thought that it blew, that there was a short that happened. And so I got up and I was going to, you know, at the time I was renting a place, and I was going to call my landlord and say, "Oh God, you're not going to believe this. My lights blew out." But before I made the call, just innocently, I wasn't even thinking about what I was doing. It was just a natural habit because it was dark. And a moment before, I was thinking that the whole place was dark. And so I got up to get my phone, and just very innocently, without even thinking about it, I switched on the light switch, and it came on, you know, and everything was normal. And I realized what I had said earlier, "Oh, spirits, you know, whatever." And it just keeps going like that in my life. Phenomena things. There's good things, but I don't rely on them. I rely on the light of God. You know, that's the only important thing to me. That's the only thing in the world I believe in, you know, is God. So my perception of things. Hey, Glenda, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Hi. Great. Thanks.
Excellent, excellent. Any questions or anything I could try to answer for you, Glenda?
Oh, I'm getting ready to take a journey tomorrow, and I'm hoping my rig is safe. I've had a deal with the spirits. It seemed that I had to take a break. I was getting a tire fixed, and they broke the brake line. And so it was a definite message: take a break.
Take a break and have a mechanic look at your car.
Right, right.
Good
So
deal. Good
all
deal.
is well, all is well.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely. Anyone would like me to work with with something? How do I feel
Mm.
about Karen? Oh, Kagan water. Supposedly it has a pH balance of anything you can adjust it
Mm.
from, I think it's 8.0 or 7.5 all the way up to 9 something, according to what your needs are. I think that 8.2 is what's described as perfect water with pH and everything.
Hmm.
So, you know. So
Okay.
good question. I don't know how else to answer that, Allison. All right. Anyone else? And I hope
You-
that answers the question.
You have a question from Prentice.
Prentice. Okay, let me see here. Please try another analogy. What is life? Looking for life. Cookie. Oh, that's the Oreo cookie. It's not about life. It's about, that's what the psychic is like. The psychic realm. It's desperate, and it's being crushed because earth and heaven are coming together, and it's desperate because the psychic realm is, even though it's going through a lot of finale right now, and for the past several years, and for the next several years, it's desperate to have people give it life, and but earth and heaven are coming together, and there's less life given to it. So it's desperate in acting out, in other words, like a child. And because earth and heaven are coming together, the cookies of the Oreo are coming together, and the cream inside is like the psychic realm, and it's extruding out of the sides, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, I give no life to any of that stuff. I hope that makes sense, hon. Oh, so the cookie is like group mind, not the spirit within. No, it's not the spirit within. The group mind gives life to it, whatever group it is, or individuals, and they are attracted to other people like themselves. They give life to it. Or people all throughout the world do the same thing, even though they don't live in the same places or whatever. Yes, that is correct. Good point there. Good point, Prentice. And any final questions, or anyone that would real briefly would like me to work with them for one particular thing? Anything? All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And we got a
Awesome.
way of doing this now, and it's through Facebook and it's through Zoom. And yeah, and that's what we're doing now. So love it. Absolutely love it. And thank you. And I'm looking forward to next time. Now, we're not going to have anything next week because I'm going to Arizona for the workshop. And then the following week, we'll start off with the Healing Circle again on Tuesday at 6:30. And then we'll, on Wednesday, have the gathering again every week.
Oh, yay.
All right.
Wonderful.
Yes, and please put in the comment box hashtag Mark Ehrlich's all one word, or hashtag spiritual healing all one word, whatever you want. As long as there's a hashtag there, and Google Analytics loves it. So blessings to everyone, and please don't forget to go to the website. There's a donation place there if you want to give from your heart.
Yes.
And there's also information on the workshops, and there's a workshop coming up. And here on the Zoom, take advantage of it. There's two of them. One's a 2-hour one that Lynn's going to be putting up on the website, I think tomorrow or next day. And then there's the 4-hour full, a 4-day full workshop for an hour and a half a day. The 2-hour one is going to be on a Saturday, and hopefully that'll get a lot more people. So thank you, everyone. Blessings, 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 and enjoy. Thanks,
Thank
Lynn.
you. Bye.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.